Was Burnout Crash a top-down wreckfest worth 49 cents, just shy of the price of two gumballs? Stick around and you'll find out. I bought this title shortly before the Xbox 360 store closed, and I'd say I got my money's worth, although I think 49 cents is the maximum I'd suggest paying for this game after my completion of it. This Burnout spinoff is a relatively short game, maybe taking about 4 hours to beat if you're not a completionist. The game consists of 18 levels or intersections spread among 6 sections, each locked behind star requirements. I'll get more into that later. Like most games, it progressively gets more difficult as you play, with each intersection being a bit more tricky than the previous one, and most levels required at least 2 attempts for me to beat. Each intersection has 3 modes: road trip, rush hour, and pile up, with rush hour probably being my favorite as it was the most chill of the 3 playable modes. Road trip is the campaign mode, which is pretty simple. You have to earn at least 1 star to unlock the next level without letting 5 vehicles escape from your vehicular carnage. Road trip levels can be beaten in 2 ways. 1. You let 5 cars escape, but you've earned at least 1 star, or you trigger the final special event, a massive wave of destruction obtained by holding out until a certain amount of vehicles have been destroyed. Stars can be earned in various ways. All levels and modes have 5 obtainable stars, each with different requirements. But 3 of the stars will always be about causing a certain value damage on the intersection. E.g., the first one is to cause $10 million worth of damage, the second 20, and the third 40, while the other 2 could be anything from destroy 3 sports cars to triggering the special event with at least 60% power. A bit more about the final special events. They were very creative and only on road trip, be it a alien spaceship destroying the intersection or a giant sea creature trotting items in its path. They were always fun to watch. Their power was based off how many vehicles you let escape. The more you let escape, the weaker it became. If you didn't let any cars escape, you got 100% power, causing maximum chaos and the highest value of damage. But suppose you do let some cars escape. From time to time, ambulances will drive in and try to get through the intersection. If you don't crash them, a red X representing your escaped vehicles will be removed, although this can be a bit harder said than done, especially if you have an entire road blocked off with crashed automobiles. Moving on to the rush hour mode, it was pretty straightforward. Cause as much chaos as possible in 90 seconds, and at the end, your car explodes, hopefully setting off a chain reaction of explosions for maximum damage. Pile up was rather tedious at times. You had a limited amount of traffic you were trying to crash for the highest damage payout, and at the end of this mode you entered Inferno mode, where you had to try to light anything on fire within a short time frame. Fail to do so and your game ends. As previously mentioned, sections are locked behind star requirements, e.g. have 25 stars to unlock the next section. This wasn't very hard, and I always had more than the minimum to progress when I reached said checkpoint. The game gave you 7 vehicles to choose from, each having different stats, with either less power and more aftertouch, or more aftertouch and less power. But what is aftertouch? Well, after using your crash breaker or explosion to wreck cars, you can kinda steer your car's direction, and lighter cars could be thrown farther and more precisely, while stronger and heavier cars couldn't go as far and were a bit harder to steer. In most cases, I found a lighter car was better, and stuck with a sports car for most of the game, although I found one of the trucks rather helpful at one intersection. Each vehicle is also locked behind star requirements, with the final vehicle requiring 100 stars to unlock. You can also change the color of your vehicle, with the color black being a reward for beating the game. Story-wise, there was no story, and Burnout Crash didn't need one, so it worked out okay. The graphics are okay, and most sound effects were good with a decent soundtrack. I should note that, EA being EA, the online leaderboards and all online interactivity is no longer running for this title, but it didn't really take anything away from the game. Overall, I think Burnout Crash earns a 6.5 out of 10, so sure, I'd guess I'd rather have this game than 2 gumballs. Well everyone, that's my video for today. I hope you enjoyed. For anyone new here, I mostly review, discuss, and play video games, so feel free to check out some of my other videos if that sounds interesting. Always remember that Jesus loves you all very much. Peace.